Hi guys, day 46 of the travel vlog today. I just wanted to talk about freedom lifestyle. What is a freedom lifestyle and how can you have a freedom lifestyle? I've got some notes, so I'm in my office at the moment and I shall be looking at the screen to go through my notes as we chat along. So a freedom lifestyle, is that something that you're looking for? Is it something that you feel you could achieve? Is it something that you feel you would like to aim for? One thing this channel is all about is creating a freedom lifestyle. I'd love to know what a freedom lifestyle means to you and how you are looking to achieve that. So if you've got any ideas yourself, please contact us and put something in the comments below. Um, Now, my notes here was, we're talking about freedom lifestyle, and it refers to a way of living where individuals have a flexible way of life away from the 9 to 5 way of life. Is that something you feel that's possible? Is it something that you dream of? So, how would you create a freedom lifestyle? How would you survive? Would it be savings? Would it be passive income? Would it be working as you went along and have a minimalist lifestyle? These are all the questions you have to ask. So, one thing we're finding through our research is that slow travel is a lot cheaper than the cost of holidays, obviously. We're finding that hotel prices can be very expensive throughout the world. But if you go slow travel and you just rent for a month, 2 months, 3 months at a time, usually staying out of the tax regulations of certain countries. Some countries you can stay in them for 6 months, some is 3 months, and some a month on holiday visas. So that's depending on the country, that's something you would have to look at. I mean, we're going to Southeast Asia, and down there's different rules for different parts of Southeast Asia. Um, on the visas. Some allow you 3 months, some allow you a month, and then you can top up. There's different things. Obviously, wherever you're going, you need to have a look at that. So, um, the number one thing I've got here is time freedom. So, time freedom. That's what I like about freedom lifestyle is that you've got the flexibility um, in scheduling. To a degree, you can say, right, you can turn up somewhere, and if you like it, you can stay a bit longer as long as your visas allow, as long as the restrictions aren't there. So that's a great thing for my mindset is that you can enjoy an area, or you can just move on. If it's not for you, you can stay there for a couple of weeks, stay in the country, and just go to a different part of the country. Now that's a freedom lifestyle to me. So that's one thing with the flexibility in scheduling. You're not bound by fixed work hours or anything like that. You can work when you want, um, off a laptop, for example, or maybe you've got passive income, stuff like that. So work-life balance, the freedom to dedicate time to personal passions, family, travel, and hobbies. That's a freedom lifestyle, isn't it? Without sacrificing work or income. So, time, there's only so much of it, and it's probably one of the most valuable things that we have. And we spend our lives working hard to create savings or a pension to go off in our senior years to enjoy life. Now, that's fine if your health stays, because a lot of these places that you want to go, the adventures and all the rest of it, you have to be reasonably healthy. The joints have to work, I'm afraid, the knees, the back, and everything like that. So, is it worth looking at a freedom lifestyle earlier and asking yourself how it can be done? rather than waiting till you're too old. So the second thing I've got here, I think I've touched on it already, but it's location freedom. So you can work from anywhere. Location independence, a major aspect, whether it's working remotely from home, traveling the world, or living in different countries. And it might be um, that it's not about traveling for you. Maybe it's about just living in the country you're already in. But you have the freedom to do what you want every day, to a degree. Um, what else have we got here? Travel freedom lifestyle often involves the ability to travel whenever or wherever. See, I quite like that. Is that I don't have to ask a boss to have a couple of weeks off in the sun. I don't have to worry about stuff like that, and that's freedom to me. So maybe that's important to you. It's definitely important for me. And then we go on to um, financial freedom. Now, what's financial freedom? I mean, I've got here passive income, build a source of income that doesn't require constant effort, like investments, digital businesses, or content creation is often a part of freedom lifestyle. So, is there something you could do? Maybe you could create a digital business. Maybe you could be a YouTuber, an influencer. Maybe you could get in the investment world, which is where I am. Financial independence, being in a position where you no longer have to rely on a traditional job for financial security because you've created diverse sources of income. So, what sort of sources of income can you create? Or can you just cut down your expenses? That's another way. Smart budgeting. Many people who embrace freedom lifestyle aim to live a simpler life and live in certain parts of the world that it's a lot cheaper. Maybe that's an idea. So then the next one we've got here is personal freedom and growth. So you can pursue your passions. I love that. You know, instead of waiting to retirement, you can pursue your passions before then. What are your passions? And it might be creating a business. It might be charity. It might be helping others out. It might be just traveling. What would your passions be? I'd be interested to hear. Um, and then we've got the next one is health and well-being. Well, prioritizing your mental health as well as your physical health is really important, isn't it? And if just sitting in an office or wherever you work is destroying you socially, not socially, it's destroying your soul. That's a mental condition. You know, you've got to look after yourself, and you have to um, take time to be you. Because guess what? You are important. You are the most important person you'll ever know, and you have to look after you. And I mean, Debbie wrote a book about self-love, and it's probably in. We'll put a link in the description. And self-love is so important. You have to care about you, and most people out there think, oh, I can't, I've got the kids to worry about, I've got this to worry about, I've got everything else to worry about. Well, if you don't look after you, you're not going to be able to look after them. So self-love is really important. um what have we got now? Obviously autonomy to make choices that lead to a fulfilling, a more purpose life. That's freedom lifestyle to me. What else we've got here? So how do people achieve a freedom lifestyle? They work remotely. So is there a job you can do, or is there a skill set you've got that you can work remotely? If that's the case, then you can travel, and you've got a type of freedom. You might have to work certain hours and stuff like that. You might work for a company who allow you to travel because your work is computer based, or you might only have to be in the country of your job a couple of times a year. Well, you can work around that. That's still a freedom lifestyle because you're creating a lifestyle of freedom around your job. Entrepreneurship, which is more me, owning businesses online, offline, especially when you own a business that it can be self-managed. And to me, that's a true business. I've started businesses and they've been a pain because you work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they're really, really tough. Now, if you acquire a business, and there's many ways of doing that, you don't actually need lots of money. People think you need lots of money to acquire a business. I mean, I've acquired businesses where it hasn't cost me any money up front, basically, where people have wanted to retire. But one thing I would say, if you're going to go that route and you're after a freedom lifestyle, is to make sure the management is in place. And that's very, very critical. So they can contact you once a week. You can look at the bank account every day, checking everything's all right. These days, you could even have CCTV, webcams, these kind of things within the office place. Well, I presume so. I mean, I haven't done it, so I don't know if that's a legal thing or whether you can do that. But you got to think outside the box if you want a freedom lifestyle. So passive income is the next one on the list. Creating assets that generate income. Again, I've done this with property, buying properties. Again, you don't need large amounts of money to do that. You can buy properties with no money down. You can definitely control properties without any of your own money, and do an uplift on the rents, things like that. There's lots of ways around it. Again, if it's something that might be of interest to you, and you want an idea, by all means, give us an email or comment below. And if I can help in any way, I will. Um, Minimalist living, we've touched on that as well. And that's reducing material possessions and living in a way that allows for more time and freedom. So, could you sell your house? I mean, how attached are you to your house? It's a lot of money sitting there as a rule of thumb with most people. Um, Freedom is about letting go. So, if you want a freedom lifestyle and you've got a property, maybe that's your way of doing it. Is it that important to actually own a property? In the UK, it seems to be the way that everybody wants to own a property. It's getting tougher and tougher as the cost of houses are going up and up and up. Um, but as we know in the UK, a lot of people in Europe don't actually buy, they rent. So what makes them um, any different to, what makes their lifestyle better? I would prefer the Mediterranean lifestyle personally, but that's a freedom lifestyle and again a choice, and everyone's got their choices. So where are we now? We're examples of freedom lifestyles. So digital nomad, who works remotely and travels the world. We've touched that. An entrepreneur running a successful online business, or it could be a bricks and mortar business, as we've touched, as long as it's got management in place. And you might go away for a month, come back for a month, go away for a month, or anything like that. And you'll be surprised on a bricks and mortar business that if you let go, sometimes it succeeds a lot better without you. Um, and again, we've touched on minimalisation and maybe working part time as you go along. I mean, especially if you're young, you might want to work in bars, these kind of things. But if you're older, you can always, and you're healthy, maybe you'll knock on people's doors and cut their lawns, wash their cars just to make a couple of quid. I don't know, but you've got to think out the box if you want a freedom lifestyle. And what you've got to remember as well is that, especially if you've got an investment head or you're looking to be an entrepreneur or are an entrepreneur, just because it's not your country, you can still make money by doing entrepreneurial activities. And that might be buying and selling something, that might be setting a business up or buying a business in another country. It could be buying property, selling it. It could be buying property and renting it out as a holiday lets. All these things are possible if you open your mind, because it is all about mindset. And if freedom lifestyle is important to you, you've got to have that kind of mindset where anything's possible if you put your mind to it. And you have to ask yourself, how can I? If that's not you, I don't think freedom lifestyle's for you. But if it is you, I think you've got a good chance at doing it. Some of you want a freedom lifestyle. Some of you just want to watch and have a look at our journey. And we love you for that as well. So there's no rights or wrongs here. It's just we're talking about freedom lifestyle and what's required to get a freedom lifestyle, to get out of the bondage of that job, to get out of bondage in general. I don't know about you, but in the UK, the bills seem to be going through the roof. The amount of money we pay in council tax, gas, electric, and all these things just to drive your car seems to cost a fortune. So if you cut all those costs out, how much would you really need in, say, Thailand or Vietnam or Bali or some other country? It doesn't have to be as expensive as you think it is at the moment, because the amount of money you're living on today might not be the amount you need to live a free life somewhere else. It's a choice. And I think that's about it for today. Um, One of the things we're doing and we've done is we've created a raffle site. So we've got a raffle site, and at the moment we've got a raffle going on for £1,000. We've got silver coin, which is going for the roof at the moment, silver. So that might be a nice little investment for you. All the tickets are around 50 pence. So it's a nice cheap flutter if you fancy a flutter. Um, and you might have the chance to win. And we're going to be putting raffles on regular basis. Um, and that might help us along our way. It might not, but it might do. And that's the entrepreneurial way. So just go along and down to the description, you'll have a link to our raffle site if it's something you fancy doing and having a flutter. And if you want to join us on our journey, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can come along and enjoy the journey with you, because we want to enjoy it with you. So that's it for today. It's been lovely speaking to you, and we'll have another one tomorrow. And let's see what we're going to talk about tomorrow. It'll be interesting. We're in the preparation stages before we go off to Southeast Asia. As people who've watched our previous videos already know, and it's not long now before we go. So it's going to be exciting to be able to document our travels in Southeast Asia. And we hope that you will come along with us and experience the journey through our eyes, um, and I hope you enjoy. So I wish you well and have a great day. So bye for now.